Yeah, good morning. Wherever you're watching this video from, this is Go Digit Forex Academy, and in today's edition of this video, we'll be talking about one of the most powerful trading strategy that most traders use to overlook. It is not a common strategy, and it's very basic that you can adopt even as a beginner. Now, at the end of the video, I'll give you a pro trading strategy that you can start making use of even as a beginner or as a professional trader. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about what is called the inside bar trading strategy. Inside bar strategy. Now, I know most of you who are familiar with candlestick pattern, I'm sure you know what is called an inside bar strategy, right? So, in this video, I'll tell you how you can make use of this candlestick pattern to make tons and tons of money. Now, when we talk about inside bar strategy or inside bar candle pattern, this simply means that when price is consolidating, you tend to have inside bar, or when price is having indecision in the market, you tend to also have an inside bar. What does that mean? Inside bar strategy, let me give you an example. Let's say you have the first candle opening this way, and let's do it this way. Okay, just stay with me. Let's say we have a candle forming this way, right? And we have another candle, right? We have another candle that opens and closes this way. So with this formation, it is known as inside bar formation. When you have a big candle overshadowing the next candle, right? Still without breaking the top or the low, right? We can tend to see candlestick patterns like this most often in the market. Sometimes it happens this way. This is an example of an inside bar. And sometimes you might have something like this. You have a big candle, right? You have a small wick at the top and bottom. Not my drawings. So you have something like this, right? The top wick and the bottom wick. And the next candle will form, can open here, right? And you have your wick as well. At the top and as well at the bottom. But you can see the difference between these candles, right? Let me add a wick here so we can understand the concept properly. So, because some people will be like, this one has no wick. We'll be looking for a candlestick that has no wick. So, price moves upwards and downwards. So, permit the wicks, but you should understand what I'm trying to do here. So, when you have this kind of pattern, oh, jeez, you're very strong point. Just don't mind the wick. So, you have this kind of candle formation, and you have this kind of candle formation. This is called an inside bar, right? Showing an indecision in the market. When you have things like this, sometimes you can even have multiple, right? You can still have multiple, but all of the candle will not exceed the range, right? It will not exceed the range of the mother candle. So it is called the mother candle. It is called the mother candle. So whenever you see candle formation like this in the market, it shows what? It's called an inside bar candle. Now this strategy happens, it happens most of the time in the day. It happens almost every time in the day. But this is the best way to trade it. When you say inside bar, sorry, when you have an inside bar candle in your support area or your resistance area, it's a high probable trade. It holds high probability, right? And how do you trade it? You trade the breakout of that inside bar. Let me give you an example. So when we have something like this, we have the mother candle and the baby candle, right? So this is what we have. Now, when we have a range breakout to the upside or to the downside, in within the inside bar candle, let's say we have a strong resistance on here or we have a support on here, right? So when you have a breakout to the upside, it tends to have more direction, right? It tends to have more direction to the upside. So what will you be looking at to trade? How do you trade this? So when you have a breakout of the inside bar candle, you have something like this. So you tend to have something like this, a breakout of the candle, right? And you want to wait for, you can have multiple breakouts this way, and you wait for a retest of that line, that candle, that sweeping liquidity before going up to the upside. You know what I'm saying? Before going to the upside. So when you have something like this is an inside buy strategy. Let me take this out so we can get to see properly. So if you have something like this, a breakout of the inside bar, we have a breakout, a retest, and a continuation to the upside. It's vice versa if it happens in the downside. So if we have the breakout of an inside bar to the downside, if we have the breakout to the downside, we expect something like that, right? We expect something like that. We have continuation of breakout, have a retest of that line, we have a retest, back to the slide, then we tend to have a continuation. Oh, sorry about that. We have a continuation moving downwards, right? So price will continue what pushing downwards. So basically, that's how an inside bar operates, right? So you want to take a screenshot so you can have something like this, and price will continue pulling downwards. So let's take all of that out and continue the explanation. Now, the best way to trade the inside bar, like I said, it's when you have an inside bar within a support area or a resistance area. That is the best way to go about that. Now, how do you now target for your TP or your SL? How do you target your P, your take profit and your stop loss level? Now, when you're trading the inside bar level, like I said, if it happens in the support line, you just want to force target 1 to 2 weeks to reward ratio. Let's say it breaks out to the upside. So we have to break out to the upside. You wait for a retest. Most of the time, inside buy strategy have retest. For them to be highly considered, right? They have a retest. So you can take your position immediately you have the breakout, or you wait for a retest, right? So either ways, this is how you want to take your trade, right? You will then set your stop loss at the week of the previous candle before the breakout, or you extend it to the week of the mother, right? That started the inside bar. I target a 1 to 2 weeks to reward ratio, so you can target this as a take profit. So this is how to take your trade, and you can as well leave it at 50% of the range, right? You can leave it at 50% of the range so that you can maximize your profit and reduce your risk. So this is how you trade the inside buy strategy. It is as simple as possible. Now let's go down to a real life chart so I can show you live examples of how to trade the inside strategy. Now looking at this, let's take all of these drawings out. Now looking at this, we found an inside bar at the resistance area. This particular candle, as you can see, multiple candles from within the range, right? Means price was consolidating. Now, when you have a close of the candle to the upside or to the downside, we expect price to continue in that direction. So with this, you see we have a break out to the downside. You can see price retest that zone, and we expect price to keep pulling downward. So just like I've explained in the previous example, we have something like this. We have a breakout, price push to the downside, price will test that zone, right? And we expect price to push down massively. So this is what we expect. This is what we're expecting, right? That's what we're expecting. So price broke out, retest and to the downside. Now let's see previous inside back candle so we can see for sure. Now I said it is more valuable when we have it at a resistance area. Now let's take a look at what we have here. This is the strong resistance area. Sorry for that. Now let's move all of this upward. Let's just delete it. I believe you understand the concept. So we have something like this. We have something like this. So this is a resistance area at the stop here, right? This is strong resistance area where we expect price to keep on to maintain this selling pressure, right? Multiple rejection. Let me take this so you don't get confused, right? So let's take all of that out. Now you see we now found an inside bar at the resistance area, right? Giving us a strong consideration that price is about to push downwards. Now let's look at the support area. Let's take this out so that we can get it clear. Now you see this is a strong demand area. Price has been rejecting multiple times, right? So you mark your support area, which is at this zone, right? Now afterwards we saw price got to this point. Now can spot an inside back candle. Now if you can spot this clearly, it is a very good one, right? Look at this. This is an inside back candle. So what were you going to do here to take this trade? You simply mark the high, right? You simply mark the high and the low of that candle. Very simple. Just the high and the low. When you have this, then like I said, whenever we have a clean breakout, which is this candle here, closed above the inside back candle, we get a retest on that line. Can you see it? So we got a retest on that line, and what do we do? Expect price to push upward. So this is how to trade it. When you see inside back candle formation on a support area or a resistance area, it is a strong indication for the continuation. Same as this one. As you can see here, we have an inside back candle from here, right? You can see an inside back candle at a resistance area. When price broke out, you can see we got a clean uh, push to the downside. So it happens almost every time in the market. But just have to make sure that the most valid one is at a support area or resistance area. Look at this. We found another inside back candle here, which is this particular one here. And don't forget, always wait for a retest before you take that trade. Wait for a retest. Don't pursue. Don't jump on trades without retest. Look at this. A good inside back candle, one, two, three candles, formed within the range of this, and at the same time we have a support area happening here, right? This is a very good support area. So you see, we spotted an inside back candle, and price pushed up to the upside, retest, and have a continuation. So that is how to trade the inside back candle. And like I said, we target what 1 to 2 weeks to 1 ratio. Let's say we're going short, we're going long, price retest on that line, we're taking our trade on the retest, right? And I said that your Stop loss can be at 50% of the range, is somewhere here, or at the low of this. So let's be taking 50% of that range. We are targeting 1 to 2 weeks to overshoot. As you can see, price hit our TP successfully. Right, price hit our TP successfully. And if you're targeting to the bottom week of that, so you can see price hit good TP. So this is a very good strategy that you can actually adopt and start making use of. So let's check if we can find, if we can spot another inside bar candle. Right, let's keep checking, looking for a more valid one. Okay, this is an inside bar candle. This is also an inside bar candle, but it's got ripped out. One of the things you have to look carefully in an inside bar candle is it must not wick above or wick below, right? The next candle must not wick above or wick below. It's very, very, very dangerous to have something like that. So let's take a look at this. I think this is an inside back candle. Look at this. Very beautiful. Spotting it at a strong demand area. This is a skill, right? With this, you can make thousands of dollars every month just following this. Mark your support and resistance and wait for an inside back. Look at this. Very strong move. An inside back candle. See price broke out and see how massive it went up, right? How massive it went up. So this is just uh, I've told you the strategy, I've told you the entry method, and so much more like that. So this is an instant buy as well. This is a strong demand area. Okay, it's very strong demand area. And what do we do? We've got an inside back candle. Oh, where is it? Some people might ask. So look at this. This is an inside back candle. This is the mother candle. You see what we have here. Price broke out, came to almost 50% of that zone, broke out again. We test on that line. And you see, so this is not me making this up. This is not just an imagination. This is what really works in the market. So you can see this is the mother candle, right? And you see price broke out to the out of that range, came back to 50% of that range, right? And price moved up to the upside. So how am I sure? So let's look at this. What I tell you, 50% of that range, right? Price retest 50% of that range and broke up and retest that line. Can you see? So it's a very thin retest, stripping out liquidity and move to the upside. So if you can spot inside back candle at a support area or resistance area, you're going to get good profit. But now this is what you should do. Make sure that the second candle, right, does not wick above or below it. If it wicks above or below it, it is invalid, right? It is invalid. It has to, the entire formation must be within uh, the mother candle, right? Now, for you to spot a high probable inside back candle. Now, this is a trading tip for those who waited to the end of the video, right? This particular inside back candle, if you can spot big massive candles inside the mother candle, it means we are about to get an explosion, right? We're about to get a massive explosion. So you see strong candles, right, inside a bigger mother candle at a support area. Now let me type it out so you guys can take note of that. So an inside bar candle forming at a resistance or support area is valid, right? Is valid. Sorry, I think we misspelled that. Now, what other law? Please take note of this. The second law is after the mother candle, price of, let me put it away. The next candle weak out the high or low of the mother candle. So that is this. So sorry about that. So and the second candle forming at A. Sorry. So forming at a resistance or support area is valid. Now after the mother candle, the next candle must not weak out the high or low of the mother candle. It is very very important. Very very important. So please take note of this, and that's just how to trade it. Now let's play price forward. So that's how to spot inside that candle basically. So that'll be the end of this video. Right, so stay tuned to this channel. If you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, like, and share this video. Yeah, so remember, this is Code Digits Forex Academy. Share this channel to your friends, like and subscribe this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.